Hello children, now today we are going to do the poem The Heart of the Tree. It is a poem that stresses upon the importance of planting trees and their usefulness to all life on earth. It has been written by Henry Cuyler Bunner, an American novelist, journalist and a poet. The poem is particularly relevant in our times because nowadays we have become so relentless in the pursuit of urbanization that we have totally disconnected ourselves from Mother Nature. The poem tells us that if we wish to flourish, we must live in harmony with nature, and one of the best ways to do this is by planting a tree. So now let us begin with the text and its explanation. The first stanza goes, what does he plant who plants a tree? He plants a friend of sun and sky. He plants the flag of breezes free, the shaft of beauty towering high. He plants a home to heaven anigh. For song and mother croon of bird, in hushed and happy twilight heard, the treble of heaven's harmony, these things he plants who plants a tree. So this poem begins directly with a question, what does he plant who plants a tree? The author is asking a question that what is he planting who plants a tree? First he is asking this question and then he gives the answer himself. He plants a friend of sun and sky. So he says the person who is planting a tree, he is planting something which is a friend of the sun and sky because it reduces the temperature, it attracts the rain, and it collects energy from the sun and purifies the air by producing oxygen. It creates a pleasant and a friendly environment. That is how he is the friend of the sun and sky. He plants the flag of breezes free. So a tree swaying in the breeze makes us feel as calm and joyful as we would feel on seeing a flag fluttering in the breeze. The shaft of beauty towering high. So in this line he says that the tree, he's describing a tree as a shaft of beauty towering high. Now shaft is a ray or a long narrow pole or a stick. And towering means standing tall. So a tree is standing tall, swaying gracefully. Looking at it does not only pleases our eyes, but also reassures us about its nurturing abilities. In the next line he says, he plants a home to heaven anigh. That means one who plants a tree creates a home near the heaven. He brings the heaven closer to us. For song and mother croon of bird. So here mother croon of bird means a lullaby that is sung by the mother bird to her baby birds in order to pacify them and put them off to sleep. So here in next line, in hushed and happy twilight heard. Now twilight means the evening time when the sun has just set and it is not yet completely dark. So it is at this time, it is at the twilight that all the birds return home. So it is very quiet and a hushed time. Hushed means there is silence everywhere as the entire bird family is together in love and belongingness. The treble of heaven's harmony. These things he plants who plants a tree. So he says, now a treble is a high-pitched sound singing or the instrumental melody. And harmony means a feeling of calmness and peacefulness. So when the mother bird is singing a sweet lullaby in the evening, in the twilight time, to its baby birds, the atmosphere becomes very harmonious and heavenly. And then in the last line he concludes, these things he plants who plants a tree. He says these are the things he plants, a planter of a tree plants when he is planting a tree. So he answers the question which he has asked in the beginning of the first stanza. Now let us begin with the second stanza. What does he plant who plants a tree? He plants cool shade and tender rain and seed and bud of days to come, and years that fade and flush again. He plants the glory of the plain. He plants the forest's heritage, the harvest of a coming age. The joy that unborn eye shall see. These things he plants who plants a tree. So in the first line he begins, what does he plant who plants a tree? So the second stanza also he begins with the same question, that what is he planting who is planting a tree? So he answers it, he plants cool shade and tender rain. So he says that a person who is planting a tree is planting cool shade, under which the shade of the trees the travelers can rest and be saved from the scorching heat of the sun. And the trees also bring about the tender rain which softly falls on the earth below, and seed and bud of days to come. So seed and bud, he's talking about the future, that these same trees, they are going to provide us with the fruits and the flowers and the seeds, and years that fade and flush again. So just like the years, they flush and fade, means as one year ends, the ending of one year is the beginning of a new year. In the same way, the environment is also, which is being represented over here by the trees, they will also fade out and become bright again. That means trees will grow old and die, and then new trees will sprout from the seeds of the old trees. He plants the glory of the plain. Now, trees give glory to the plain land, which would be totally neglected and desolate and empty otherwise. So, he is planting the trees which are a glory of the plain. He plants the forest's heritage. Now, the act of planting trees today will create a forest of trees in the future. The more the number of trees, the healthier and happier and prosperous will our planet be. So that is the forest heritage. The harvest of a coming age, the joy that unborn eye shall see. So when we plant a tree today, it will give us the results in the future. That is, our consequences of these actions of planting the trees today will be seen in the days to come, that is, in the future. The effects of planting a tree are long lasting. Even the coming generations, which have not been born yet, will see the trees and experience the joy of having trees all around them. These things he plants who plants a tree. So he concludes the second stanza by saying that these are the things he plants, the person who plants a tree. Now we begin with the third and the last stanza. What does he plant who plants a tree? He plants in sap and leaf and wood, in love of home and loyalty, and forecast thought of civic good, his blessings on the neighborhood, who in the hollow of his hand holds all the growth of all our land, a nation's growth from sea to sea, stirs in his heart who plants a tree. So the third stanza also he begins with the same question, what does he plant who plants a tree? And then he gives the answer. He plants in sap and leaf and wood. So he says that in this line he is referring to the different parts of a tree, the sap, the leaf, the wood, which are, all these are useful to us as sap and leaves and wood. And he says that every part of a tree is so useful that if we love our home, if we love our neighborhood, if we love our country, we will plant a tree. In love of home and loyalty, that is, we will definitely plant a tree out of love for our home and out of a sense of loyalty to our country, to our whole earth, which will make us plant trees. And forecast thought of civic good. Now, what does this mean? The planters who plant trees are visionaries. They can foresee the far-reaching beneficial impact on civic good, which means the welfare of the society. Thus, they are planting the trees. His blessings on the neighborhood. So, a man who plants trees is elevated by his good deeds to a position that is higher than that of others. So, he says, by the words, the poet conveys this by using the words his blessings, his hand, and finally his who in the hollow of his hand holds the growth of all our land, holding the growth of all the land. The next line, who in the hollow of his hand holds all the growth of all our land. In this line, notice the capital H in his being used for the planter, which means the planter of trees is not an ordinary person. By planting trees, he is blessing his fellow men and everything that is around him. He holds the seeds or the saplings in the hollow of his hand. And when these seeds sprout, when these saplings grow into a huge tree, they contribute to the well-being of everyone. That is why he says, all the growth of all our land. A nation's growth from sea to sea stirs in his heart who plants a tree. So, the poet conveys that a nation does not comprise of isolated or demarcated pieces of land. The political boundaries cannot confine the spirit of nationhood. A truly enlightened human is one who can think of universal welfare. Such a man thinks about the growth, the prosperity of the entire planet from sea to sea. It is this feeling that stirs in his heart. Stirs in his heart who plants a tree. That is, it is this feeling of universal brotherhood that lives in the heart of a tree planter. I hope the poem is clear to you. Thank you.